Hello, good day to everyone. We are now in Chapter 4 of Life and Social Skills. Self-awareness. In this lesson, we'll discuss the definition of self-awareness and its benefits to your life. Discover what can prevent a person from being self-aware, and learn about several tools to help you increase your self-awareness. Learning objectives. To know that living as a self-aware individual allows a person to live in the present, knowing who you are and what you want. To find it easier to let go of toxic people as you know what you deserve. To learn that self-awareness students welcome mistakes as stepping stones to success. They are not deterred by failure as they know what they are capable of. To learn that gratitude goes hand in hand with awareness. To know that self-awareness boosts your confidence. Introduction. Self means the entire person. Awareness is having a showing realization, perception, or knowledge. Therefore, self-awareness is the explicit understanding that one exists. It includes the concept that one exists as an individual, separate from other people, with private thoughts. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness, sometimes also referred to as self-knowledge or introspection, is about understanding your own needs, desires, feelings, habits, and everything else that makes you tick. The more you know about yourself, the better you are at adapting life changes that suit your needs. Terms and definitions. 1. Aptitude, the natural ability or potential for learning new skills. 2. Assessment, a personal evaluation. 3. Career portfolio, a collection of information about oneself. 4. Identity, the personality or activity by which a person is known. 5. Interest, a thing a person enjoys doing or thinking about. 6. Interest inventory, an assessment that helps people identify their interest areas. Terms and definitions. 7. Learning style, natural method or way one thinks or learns. 8. Lifestyle, typical way of life. 9. Personality, the combination of attitude, values, interests, and behaviors that identify a person. 10. Procrastinator, one who puts off doing things or making decisions. 11. Self-concept, the way in which a person views his or her self-worth. 12. Skill, the ability to perform a certain activity well. 13. Values, personal standards by which one lives. Who are you? These include the values, interest and ability that you have. There are 3 types of values. These are life values, things that are important in your life such as family values and social values. Work values, represent what is important at work such as the money you earn, job security, and your work environment. Conflict values, when you have one or more values that you can't satisfy at the same time. Aptitude is your natural ability to learn or excel in a certain area. For example, you could have an aptitude for math and logic. Those 2 aptitudes likely help you excel in probability and statistics. 11 Main aptitude. General, ability to learn, general intelligence, understanding facts and reasoning. Verbal speaking and listening skills. Numerical ability to solve number problems. Spatial visualizing shapes and dimensions mentally. Form perception noticing details about objects. Clerical, recognizing errors in written words and numbers. Finger dexterity, using fingers accurately to work with small objects. Manual dexterity, using hands accurately in placing and turning objects. Motor coordination, ability to coordinate hand, finger, and eye movements to assemble parts. Eye-hand, foot coordination, ability to move the hands and feet together to complete a task after visually recognizing it like driving a car. Color discrimination, ability to distinguish shades of color and to match and select colors that go together. How will you discover your aptitude? Aptitude, potential to learn. To discover your aptitude, look at your strong points about what you do best. Remember, you may not know all of your aptitudes at the present time because you may not have any experience in that area yet. Aptitude and skill tips. Most people find it easier to develop skills in areas of their interest. Don't be afraid, you can learn skills that you don't already possess. Everyone has different interests and abilities. Don't stop working at a skill just because you feel you have mastered it. Discovering your interests. Just imagine how great it would be to get paid for doing what you like to do. Some people have turned their hobby into a career. What do you watch and read? What are your hobbies and dreams? What are your favorite classes in school? Matching interests to careers. Selecting an interesting career can begin with taking an inventory of your interest areas. Matching your interest with job skills and requirements will allow you to investigate career possibilities. This helps you to avoid selecting a boring job. Discovering skills. Skill is the ability to accomplish a task. Skills are learned through experience of doing. You constantly learn new skills throughout life. Everyone has learned hundreds of skills since birth. Remember, it is important to know your skill level to be able to choose a suitable career. Everyone has a special talent. Many career, music, arts, sports, require a great deal of natural talent. Natural talent is a superior natural ability or skill. Many times this natural talent is called a gift. What is your gift? Remember that talent alone is usually not enough to be successful. Most talented and successful people worked very hard and devoted much time, training, and practice to their careers. Certain values to consider. Money. You must decide if money is the leading aspect of your life, or would you take less money for more important things? Independence. Would you like to work for yourself and make your own business decisions? Security. Do you need the knowledge of having a secure day-to-day job with a guaranteed salary? Education. Do you need to keep learning to be able to talk to many people about various topics? Does your career choice involve years of formal educational training? Creativity. Would you bypass a steady income to become an artist or to create something? Making changes in your community. Would you like to be publicly involved in community improvement? Regular work schedule. Would you work the same hours with scheduled time off, or is overtime pay more important than free time? High profile or recognition. Do you want a career that could make you famous or give you recognition? Personal life ahead of job. Which is more important, a career and money, or spending time with your family? Being a leader. Do you enjoy decision making or prefer others to assume that responsibility? But there are conflict of values to be considered. Trying to make a decision where you really want more than one thing, but can only have one. Be careful. It is important to be aware of how other people's values can influence the decisions you make, peer pressure or family pressure. Now let's figure out which skills and traits to work on and which to leave alone. Liking to spend a lot of time alone? Spending time alone will make you more confident. Unconfident people often rely on others to help with decisions, but spending time alone encourages you to make decisions for yourself. When you are alone, you can ignore other people's opinions and ideas so that you can really focus on your own thoughts. Not needing or wanting a ton of friends? Being alone does not have to mean being lonely. We have limited time and energy reserves. Are the friends we're spending them on worth it? Are you being selective when choosing who you want to be friends with? Sometimes we're being selective about friends because not everyone can serve the purpose. Are you a person who prefers to socialize for shorter periods of time, and then head home to relax and recharge your batteries, having a tendency to get drained by socializing. Being into low-key types of socializing and choosing to avoid rowdy parties or getting drunk. Preferring to hang back and listen more in conversations, rather than talking a lot and trying to hold the spotlight. Not having a bubbly, expressive, excitable personality. Being able to take or leave aspects of socializing, like making chit-chat with strangers waiting in a line with you. Preferring your conversations to have lots of substance. Being into uncool, non-mainstream hobbies. Not caring about seemingly popular interests like team sports or reality TV. Living an alternative lifestyle or being part of a non-mainstream scene or subculture. Having beliefs and values that differ from the mainstream. Having a more quirky personality. You'll have to decide for yourself how to approach your acceptable differences in light of your social goals. Wherever possible, you should be true to yourself and try to find your niche, which includes looking for friends who get you and like you for who you are. Keep an open mind. Be open to new experiences. It's important to be true to yourself but not to the point where you become locked in place and dismiss anything new. Practicing your social skills to improve them. 3 ways to practice your social skills. If you feel you're socially inexperienced, find ways to spend more time socializing. Practice deliberately, structured way, especially if you want to work on specific skills. Take a class to learn a performance-oriented interpersonal skills. Knowing what are you working on when you practice your social skills. 1. The ability to think on your feet. Learn some general guidelines and then sharpen your ability to improvise. 2. Your ability to multitask. As you get better at socializing, taking in all of that information and deciding what to do with it starts to feel less overwhelming. 3. Your proficiency in a variety of concrete sub-skills like listening, asserting yourself, or phrasing and imitation. Practice your listening skills more and show that you care. 4. Your comfort level with various sub-skills, like making eye contact or starting conversations. The more you do them, the more normal they'll feel. 5. Your general knowledge of people, what makes them tick, and how they tend to react to various things. Adjust accordingly to people's preferences. 6. Your knowledge of various social situations and how to navigate them. You can learn this through first-hand experience or by observing other people who are more socially experienced than you. 7. Your knowledge of the unwritten social guidelines of your particular culture, subculture, or group of friends, and how to adjust the general communication skills rules to fit them. Be observant. 8. Constructive mindsets towards socializing. Socialize more and create more experiences. 9. Your personal social style. There isn't a single right way to socialize. Everyone has his or her own personality and strengths and weaknesses. Ways to practice socializing. Socialize more with the people you already know, existing friends, co-workers, classmates, roommates, family members. Get a job that involves lots of interaction with people, for example, retail, restaurant server, bartender, call center, sales. Sign up for a volunteer position that involves socializing, for example, fundraising, talking to seniors, helping out at a festival. Join a club, team, or organization, between green and orange. Attend online organized meetups, for example, from a forum you use, through sites like meetup.com. Take advantage of natural opportunities to have brief, friendly interactions with people who are generally expected to be pleasant and chat with you, such as store clerks and restaurant servers. Go to a venue where people can show up alone and be social with the other patrons, for example, a board game cafe, a pub or pool hall. Interact with people online, for example, chatting with people while playing a multiplayer game. Of course, this can't be a complete substitute for face-to-face practice, but it shouldn't be dismissed entirely either, and if it's a realistic option, travel and stay in busy, social hostels. Here's a good rule of thumb: if your depressed mood lasts for more than 2 weeks, it's okay to seek professional support. Sometimes you'll face challenges that are too difficult to deal with on your own. Are you a shy person? Shyness is a multifaceted condition with many variations and nuances, but in short, it's when you feel inhibited and uncomfortable in certain social situations because you're worried about how you'll come across to everyone. Overcoming shyness and intimidation. Part 1: Understanding your shyness. 1. Think about the root of your shyness. Shyness doesn't necessarily mean being an introvert or not liking yourself. It means for some reason you get embarrassed when the spotlight, attention, is on you. Roots of shyness. Shyness is generally symptoms of a larger problem. Weak self-image. Lack of belief in compliments. Preoccupied with what people will say about your performance. You are labeled as shy by others. 2. Accept your shyness. The first step in overcoming a problem. Accept that you are shy and be comfortable with it. The more you resist it consciously or unconsciously, the longer it prevails. 3. Figure out your triggers. What or which situations trigger your shyness most? Do you become shy in front of a new audience? When learning new skills? When venturing into a new situation? When surrounded by people you know and admire? When you don't know anyone somewhere, etc. Definitely you do not feel shy in all situations. You may be okay around family and friends because you know them better, so try hard to see strangers as family and friends. Meaning it may not be you who is shy, but situations make you shy. 4. Make a list of situations that make you feel anxious. Anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. List them from the things that make you feel the least anxious to those that cause you the most. Anxiety situations. For example, talking in front of people may be a trigger, but you can be more specific. Talking in front of those who have authority. Talking to those you find attractive. Talking to those who are older. Talking to those who are more educated than you. Talking to ladies, guys, etc. 5. Conquer the list. Once the list is completed, start working through them. Start dealing with the easy situations to boost your confidence. Take it at your own pace, no rush. Try a few times on each one even if you are successful before you move to the next on the list. Don't worry about the setbacks. Part 2: Conquering your mind. Always know that you are the ruler of your mind. Place your attention on others, especially people you are familiar with. Concentrate on compassion. Feeling sympathetic or even empathetic helps boost your confidence. Visualize success. Keep your focus on the crown, the praise and recommendations. Practice good posture, it has a tendency to boost your confidence. Your body emulates your feeling. Research shows that good posture makes us feel authoritative, confident and reduce stress. Practice speaking clearly to yourself, loving hearing yourself or your own voice, for example, record yourself. Practice makes habits. Don't compare yourself to others, develop your own self-esteem. Identify your social values and strengths and take advantage of them. SWOT. Part 3, Conquering Social Situations. 1. Get informed. Read wide and often. Ask questions. Know your environment. 2. Think of conversations in stages. Stage 1, simple opening line, small talk at its finest. Stage 2, introductions. Should be self-explanatory. Stage 3, find some common ground, a topic you can both discuss but pick your strengths. Stage 4, closing, summing up and exchanging information. 3. Start the conversation. 4. Look and act approachable. Keep your smile visible. Have a friendly attitude. Keep your arms uncrossed. Be polite at all times. 5. Smile and make eye contact. Part 4, Challenging Yourself. Set goals for yourself. Focus on small, daily accomplishment. Gradually become more daring. Find your comfortable zones, place, topic, environment, etc. Practice placing yourself in the not so comfortable zones. Introduce yourself to one new person each day. Put yourself out there. 5 Pillars of Self-Awareness. 1. EQ. Emotional intelligence. 2. Core self. Evaluation. 3. Values. 4. Learning style. And 5. Attitude toward change. Emotional intelligence. Recognize and diagnose your own emotions. Control. Control your emotions. Recognize and diagnose the emotions displayed by others. Research suggests that intelligence is 4 times more important than IQ in determining managerial and life success. Core self-evaluation. Self-esteem, the extent to which people see themselves as capable, successful and worthy. Locus of control, people believe about the extent to which they can control their own experiences. Internal locus of control, I was the cause of the success or failure for the change. External locus of control, something else caused the success or failure. Research suggests that successful managers and leaders have a higher internal than external locus of control. Moreover, they tend not to be manipulative, insensitive and selfish. Values. Cultural values, patterns of values shared among people in various countries. And personal values, what people tend to value in their decision, both standards of conduct and desired ends or goals. Learning style. An individual's inclination to perceive, interpret and respond to information in a certain way. Concrete experience. Reflective. Observation. Abstract conceptualization. Active experiment. The style goes on and on. Attitude toward change style. Because managers and leaders must work in an environment of change, it is important to understand tone's tolerance to situations that are ambiguous, incomplete, unstructured and changing. Sensitivity line. The enigma of self-awareness. Overcoming it. By receiving information that is verifiable, controllable and predictable. By interacting with others and engaging in self-disclosure. Ask for feedback, always. And remember the importance of humility. If you have a humble eagerness to learn something, your learning opportunities will be unlimited. Why become self-aware? To improve performance. To manage yourself, set appropriate goals, choose appropriate careers, manage stress. To understand differences between you and others, understand why others react to you the way they do, adapt your communication to others' need and develop interpersonal skills. How to become self-aware. Know your prejudices. Know your motivation and needs. Know your responses. feedback from friends and family, feedback from peers, active listening and openness, feedback from yourself. The 5 interview questions aimed at verifying your self-awareness. 1. What makes you unique? 2. What are your 3 main strengths and your 3 main weaknesses? 3. How would you describe your personality? 4. What's your favorite website and why? 5. What are your long-term professional goals? Enjoy the self-awareness video.
Being authentic requires that you first be aware that you are a creative and conscious being, a created self. Awareness is observing. It's being able to objectively watch what's happening inside of you as if it was happening to someone else. It is the observer that is in each of us. We are all born aware. As we grow, our sense of self-awareness develops and allows us to observe at a deeper level what we think, what we feel, what we say, and what we do. Consciousness is a part of your awareness that eventually branches off as it becomes shaped by the sources of influence in our everyday lives. Parents, teachers, peers, and even society as a whole. It is how we normally experience ourselves and how we think we are perceived by the world around us. Being self-conscious, which is fueled by a fear of rejection, is when we make judgments about ourselves based on our own perceptions, as well as how we think we're being perceived by others. When we're being self-conscious, it's typically characterized by what we call our monkey mind, internal dialogue, or our negative self-talk. I'm not as smart as most people. I'm not good enough. I'm too fat. My nose is too big. I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm always, I never. Does any of this sound familiar? Have you ever told yourself something along those lines? Think about a situation that makes you nervous. Maybe it's giving a presentation. And if you hate giving presentations, have you ever listened to what you tell yourself before you gave one? Maybe something along the lines of, I'm not funny or witty. This is going to be a train wreck. What if someone asks a question I can't answer? You know, I'm going to look like a complete idiot if I screw this up. This is our self-critic talking. It repeats its message over and over, and it can often be meaner and harsher toward us than we've ever been towards anyone else. And once our self-critic has successfully convinced us that we are somehow subpar and less than worthwhile, we start to put measures into place to protect ourselves, to achieve, to gain approval, to seek applause, and to avoid rejection and painful situations. When we are consumed with protecting, defending, and managing how others perceive us, it gets in the way. We get in our own way of being aware and being who we really are. This keeps us from bringing our true self into relationships with others, and it keeps others from doing the same with us. The result is that nobody authentically shows up. Instead, we continue to run on autopilot and simply go through the motions. But really, who's in control? It's you. You are. You might think it's your self-critic, but it's you. And even though your self-critic will always be with you, you are the decider, and you get to control what you focus on. So by focusing on your awareness, on your observer, and watching yourself from a distance, you can make some observations. I'm being self-conscious right now. I'm feeling calm and happy. Or I'm experiencing anxiety and stress. And through these simple statements of observation, you are better equipped to choose to be your authentic self.
In summary, the most important first step in choosing a career is to learn more about yourself. Self-appraisal is necessary to identify themselves from several perspectives: values, personal standards, interest, aptitudes, skills, and special talents were discussed. Confidence-building skills in decision-making aids in career choices. Thank you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me.